Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is August 20th, 2021. It's 8:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And this is just a quick update on my schizophrenia and my bladder surgery that I had on August 9th. For those of you who watched some of my past few videos, you knew that for the past 4 months I've been wearing a urinary catheter with a urinary leg bag because I was unable to urinate. I tried prostate surgery, that didn't work. And so on August 9th, I had surgery on my urinary bladder, and I had the catheter taken out today, which is the 20th, about 11 days after surgery. And I'm happy to announce that I'm able to urinate on my own again after 4 months of wearing that fucking catheter. Everything's returned to normal. The surgery was a success, obviously. They took the catheter out. Well, actually, before they took the catheter out, they put sterile saline solution into my bladder, then took the catheter out. And if I was able to urinate the sterile water out, that means my bladder was working the way it was supposed to after surgery. And I was able to urinate the sterile water out. And I went home, and they told me if I couldn't urinate in 4 hours to go back to the clinic. But I've been urinating just fine. It's an odd feeling to be able to feel the sensation to need to urinate after 4 months and not being able to feel it because of the catheter in me. My urine was draining automatically from my bladder, so there was no sensation for a need to empty my bladder. So I'm back to normal now. Everything's working the way it's supposed to. As far as my schizophrenia is concerned, I think this is going to take some stress off of me, make my anxiety and depression less severe. Doesn't have much effect on my hallucinations or my delusions necessarily, except when I lost sleep. That would make my delusions and hallucinations worse. I was definitely losing sleep over the surgery. There was a lot of physical pain with the surgery. They gave me 5 incisions in my abdomen because they used robotic arms to perform the surgery. And I had 5 different incisions on my abdomen, and they were closed with staples instead of sutures. While I was at the doctor today, she removed the staples out of my abdomen as well because they've been in my abdomen since the 9th of August, the day of surgery. So the staples are out. I'm urinating normally, and my schizophrenia will probably have a lot less stress on me, which means I'll probably sleep better. I'll probably hallucinate less. I'll probably have less delusions. It's always a up and down thing with me. Part of having schizophrenia, or in my case, schizoaffective disorder, which is on the schizophrenia spectrum disorder spectrum. Mood swings come with that, and fluctuations in my mental symptoms come with that, independent of my urinary problems. One thing that I did gain out of all of this is that my psychiatrist was concerned that my Seroquel was causing some of my urinary retention problems. So he had reduced a few months ago my Seroquel from 1,000 milligrams to 600 milligrams nightly, which is still a lot of Seroquel. It's a lot more than a lot of people take, but it's also a lot less than what I was taking. So over the past 4 months, I first started having urinary problems back in May. Went to the urologist. They inserted a catheter in me. They were going to have me self-catheterize myself every day, but I insisted there's got to be another thing we can do. I do not want to spend the rest of my life sticking plastic tubes down my penis to empty my bladder 3 or 4 times a day. So my urologist suggested prostate surgery, and that didn't pan out very well. The bladder surgery a few months later, and that seems to have worked and done the trick. Um, but the prostate surgery still worked in the sense that I'm taking medication for an enlarged prostate. Most of my prostate was removed, so I don't think the enlarged prostate is going to be as much as a problem as it was, although I'm still taking medication for that, just to be on the safe side, because they didn't remove all of my prostate, just some of it around the urethra, um, which is the tube leading into my bladder. Um, Today's the 20th of August. My next psychiatric appointment with my doctor is on August 26th. So I'll be able to have some good news to report to him on the 26th. The only drawback on all of this is I'm back to frequent urination, which was always a problem. I get up 3 or 4 times a night to go to the bathroom. I expected that wasn't going to change, and I was right. Although tonight's my first night of going to bed without a catheter in 4 months, but I suspect I'll have to get out of bed to urinate. With the catheter, I would have a very large nighttime urinary bag that hangs off the side of the bed, and I wouldn't have to get up to go to the bathroom because it would just drain into the bag all night. It's a very large bag, larger than the leg bag that I wore during the day. But with the bag's gone and the catheter gone, I'm going to have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom again. I didn't suspect that was going to change, and I'm probably right. But things are doing better. It's a little warm today. I'm not wearing a shirt right now because it's very hot. I don't have air conditioning. I have a couple of box fans and a humidifier with a ice bucket at the bottom. Fill it with ice and water, and it blows cold air over the cold water and then blows it out the front of the humidifier. Not as good as an air conditioner, I can tell you that much. But I'm in the process of recertifying for my lease in my apartment. If I didn't recertify, I would have to pay full rent, which is $723 a month. Right now, I'm paying $390 a month because of subsidized housing. So I'm recertifying for that. That's going okay. Not much else to report on. I'm feeling a lot better just not having the urinary catheter anymore. Not much going on with my schizophrenia symptoms. Just getting ready to go to bed. I already took my night meds, so in about 20 or 30 minutes, I'll start getting tired from my medications. I'm still on several medications, 6 or 7 medications, stretched throughout the day. Some of them medical, high blood pressure medication, stomach medication, prostate medication, and some of the rest of them are psychiatric medications. Aside from the Seroquel, I also take Zyprexa. Zyprexa is supposed to help with the hallucinations, where the Seroquel doesn't always work successfully for that. So I take Zyprexa for that. And also I take the Zyprexa at night so it'll help me fall asleep. I do presently take Klonopin as needed. I have a feeling, though, that my psychiatrist is going to try to take me off Klonopin now that I'm not wearing the catheter anymore, because the whole point of being on the Klonopin, well, for 2 reasons. The stress of being isolated under COVID-19 restrictions, but also my own personal stress of having to go through 2 different surgeries over the past few months, and wearing the urinary catheter bag was putting a lot of stress on me. I did go to the psychiatric emergency room last week. I had the surgery on Monday, August 9th. I ended up in psychiatric emergency that following Friday. They didn't admit me in the hospital, and thank God they didn't, because they didn't have any beds available. If they tried to admit me into the hospital, I would have spent days in the psychiatric emergency department, sleeping on a couch, waiting for a bed. And that's never fun. believing the psychiatric emergency room at Strong Memorial Hospital at the University of Rochester is total fucking chaos. Even my psychiatrist doesn't like working there. Um, he doesn't work there full time, but he does. He is on call, and he does get called to work there. And he told me that it's not his favorite part of the job, and I can understand why. I would hate to be a psychiatrist working in that fucking psychiatric emergency department. It's total fucking chaos. Um, but anyways, not much else to report. Just going to continue to do these videos. So like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to see me do a video on a particular topic, let me know. Doesn't have to be related to mental health. Could be anything. And if I have something to say about it, then I'll choose that topic and talk on it. But share, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.